Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I have just spent an enjoyable day playing golf against members of the Bezonia Karma Club, and what could be a better recompense than to do a puzzle by the Dutch master Ard van der Wetering, same country. So Ard has sent us something that is not a Sudoku this time, and I'm looking forward to giving it a go. Do be ready though for tomorrow when we are releasing CTC's Snake Egg collection on Patreon. This is going to be the monthly reward challenge. A number of puzzles guiding you through snake egg puzzles, teaching you what they are and how to do them. And it's by the masterful Philip Bloomer, aka Glum Hippo. The sad pachyderm has produced a brilliant set of puzzles. I have tested them. I can say that they are fabulous. Do give that a try when it comes out on Patreon. Tomorrow, join us if you haven't already done so. There's always a load of extra content on Patreon, including currently Simon's solve of an extraordinary puzzle there. It was well worth a look at, by Sunny Jump, Sumgens and Diagrams. And I might have got that wrong because I can never remember the two words. But anyway, that may be right or it may be wrong. We will be bringing you that at 4 p.m. our time tomorrow. The CTC Snake Egg collection will drop. And of course, there's all our apps in case you can't wait till then. They are fabulous value as well. I mean, really, value is something we are very committed to. And the same is true of Sven's SUDOKU PAD and to an extent of our merchandise, where you can get hold of that using the links under the video. But the first link is to this puzzle, and it's called Tectonic Plus by Ard van der Wetering. And I think from reading the rules, this is what I would call Suguru. And I think it has, I'm guessing it has the name Tectonic in parts of the puzzle kingdom because those aspects are normal. Now, the plus here refers to the fact that Ard has added a rule. So what I will explain is what is going on in this puzzle. In every region of this puzzle, the digits 1 to 5 appear. Now, in what I would normally call a Suguru, it's the digits 1 to n, depending on how big the region is. But we must put the digits 1 to 5 in every region here because all the regions are 5 cells big. In fact, this board is composed of the 12 pentominos arranged in a 5 by 12 pattern. So it's very impressive construction to have used that, because that's Ard just imposing something on himself that won't really impact the solve. And we take our hats off to Ard as ever. Now, the rule about putting the digits 1 to 5 into these puzzles is that no digit can appear touching an identical digit, and we can characterize that under our normal things of no digit can be within a chess king's move of an identical digit. Here's my king to tell me. I don't think I'm going to forget that because it's a basic rule of Suguru or Tectonic that because there is, so let's say because there is a 3 there, none of these cells in those cages can contain a 3. Now, there's an additional rule, as I said. No orthogonal or diagonal trio of adjacent digits. So that's an orthogonal trio, a horizontal one, and that is another one, a vertical one, and that's a diagonal trio of adjacent digits. None of those is in arithmetical order. So 1, 2, 3, or 5, 3, 1, or 3, 4, 5 are forbidden. But, for example, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, and 4, 3, 5 are allowed. Now, I'm not sure from that statement of the rules if order is referring to an arithmetic progression, because all the examples that Ard gives of forbidden sequences are in arithmetic steps of either 1, 2, or 1. But all the examples he gives of what is allowed are not just not in the same step order, but are going up and then down or down and then up. No orthogonal or diagonal trio of adjacent digits is in arithmetical order. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 1 or 3, 4, 5 are forbidden. Okay, if I find when solving this puzzle, and you will watch that live, that 2, 4, 5 is also forbidden because it's in the right order, then I will let you know that in the rule set that you see when you load up the puzzle. But I don't, and indeed in the rule set that appears above my head, but I can't see that at the moment, so I don't know if that's a rule. Anyway, I'm still going to take on the puzzle as it is, without quite knowing what the rule means. I'm going to assume, obviously, the tighter case at first, that 1, 2, 3 is banned, but 1, 2, 4 is not necessarily banned. And we'll see how we get on. Okay, let's get cracking. So I'm going to use what I consider basic Suguru principles first. So this T region, where's its 1? It can't be in any of those cells because of the king's move, so it must be there. Then in this region, the 1 can't be in those 3 cells, so it's in one of those 2 instead. These can't have a 1, but this region needs a 1 somewhere there. The fact that there's a 1 in one of those 2 positions means there isn't in one of those 2. And the fact that there's a 1 in one of those 2 means there isn't in one of those 2. So we can actually place the 1 in this Z region straight away. That confines the P region's 1 to one of those 2. It's not quite so easy down below. I mean, I don't know if that was easy, but there's a 1 in one of those cells. Therefore, that isn't a 1. But after that, I don't think I can get much further with 1s. And 1 was the digit given to us twice in the puzzle, so that was definitely the easiest digit with which to start. And I think we're going to be struggling and having to move on to the difficult rule in a moment. First of all, I'm going to mark 5 as in one of those 2 cells in the X pentomino, since those aren't allowed to contain a 5. Also, 5 is in one of those 2 in the L. And 3, I suppose, can't, as I said, it can't be in any of those cells. So there's a 3 in one of those. Well, there's also a 3 in one of those, so that can't be a 3. So one of these 2 is a 3. Oh, that's quite interesting. This is another way of looking at Suguru puzzles and well worth learning. Where does this digit go in this cage? It's not allowed, whatever it is, it's not allowed in any of those cells. So it must be there, and therefore it must be a 1. And that's kind of a reasoning from a different angle than the one that told us that there was a 1 in one of those 2 cells. We just started considering that. So similarly, where does this digit go in the T cage? Well, it's got to go there. And then you could ask, where does it go in this F pentomino? But you don't know whether it goes there or whether it's a 5. So it's not so easy to keep that thread going. However, we do know from this cage that yellow is not, from this region, that yellow is not a 3. So one of these is a 3, because that's now not a 3. Okay, now I'm going to have to start considering these sequences, which feel very strange to me. Okay, this definitely can't go 1, 3, 5. So there's a 5 somewhere in one of those cells in the P region. I suppose that can't be a 2, or we'd have 1, 2, 3 running here. But I haven't really got a lot to go on from this point of view. This is tricky. It is inclining me to think that the stronger reading of the rules is appropriate. So any fully ascending sequence of 3 might be forbidden, although that strikes me as very hard to put a grid together with. Gosh, okay, this is where the puzzle gets a lot harder straight away. So that can't be a 2. I mean, knowing that one of those is a 2 doesn't really help, I don't think. But okay, maybe I need to find a bit more geometry stuff where whatever this digit is, oh, we know it's yellow in the T. Sorry, I'd forgotten that already, despite having done it only about a minute ago. Whatever that digit is goes in one of those 2 cells. Okay, this can't be a 5, because then this would run 1, 3, 5. However, that doesn't necessarily put a 5 in one of these cells, because that could have been the 5. Oh no, that can't be a 5 actually, because that would put a 3 here, and then this would run 1, 3, 5 the other way. Ah, well, this is interesting from the point of view of this section of 4 cells is telling me that the stronger version of the rule is not appropriate. That because whatever the digit in these 2 cells that is not a 3 is, we must be either ascending from there to there to there, or from there to there to there. Let's imagine it was a 4. If you put it there, that's an ascent. If you put it there, that's an ascent. But if you imagine it's a 2, if you put it there, that's an ascent. And if you put it there, that's an ascent. So I now know that the rule is stating that no orthogonal or diagonal trio of adjacent digits is an arithmetical sequence in ascending order, or in ascending or descending order. And what that is actually telling me here is that 2 and 5 cannot be in these cells, because one way, oh, sorry about an email alert if you heard that. I didn't, but you may have done. One of these, if it was a 2, you would have a 1, 2, 3 going in one direction. If one of them was a 5, you'd have a 1, 3, 5 going in one direction or the other. So this must be a 3, 4 pair. That is quite interesting. This is a 2, 5 pair. This cell is therefore either 2 or 5, because it's yellow, and we've established that. And we're only trying to avoid these sequences now. Yeah, and please don't be hard on Ard for not having expressed to me exactly what was meant, because maybe to a mathematician that's what was meant, and also Ard's operating in a second language, so there is absolutely no compunction here over that. Now, this is quite interesting. If yellow was a 5, neither of those could be a 3, because you'd either have 1, 3, 5 there or 1, 3, 5 there. So if yellow is a 5, that's where 3 goes. And these would be 2 and 4. Now, this sees both 3 and 4, and obviously 1. So that is 2 or 5 again, and it's not that cell, so it is yellow again. Now, if it was a 2, that couldn't be 3, because we'd have 1, 2, 3. Ah, it can't be a 2 because of that diagonal. So yellow has become a 5. Oh, this is a very interesting puzzle, by the way. So we get a 2 there. Okay, that didn't place yellow in the corner. We know 5's down in one of those. Okay, now what do we learn about 5s? We learn that's not a 3, and that's not a 3. That's what I was saying we would learn here, and I'd forgotten it. That's a 3. Now this can't be a 5 because of that diagonal. Also, this can't be a 1 because of that diagonal. This can't be a 1. It couldn't have been anyway. What about these two? I don't think they've been resolved at all. It's difficult to find potential. Oh, that's a 2-4 pair. I mean, we know that just by adding up, or identifying the digits in the region already. 3 is in one of those two cells. Now that's quite interesting because 1 is definitely in one of those two cells too. We've established that, assuming my pencil marking is right. Yes, it's once I ruled that out. 1 can't be there or there. So that's now a 1-3 pair. And the 5 in the region is there. And this is a 2-4 pair. And those two will be different because they are within a king's move of each other. Whatever this is must appear here in the L region. Now, have I stumbled? Yes, I have stumbled on another triple. Ah, no. I was going to say this couldn't be 2 or 4 because of a 2-3-4 triple, but it could be the same as that. So that is not a conclusion I'm allowed to draw, and I need to be more careful. Fair enough. I will try and be more careful. I do also see that this can't run 3, 4, 5. But I haven't set up very many new triples or potential triples. 2, 3, 4. This can't be a 4. It also can't be 3 or 1. So that is 2 or 5. But I don't know which of them it is. That can't be 1 or 3 either. But these can't have a 5 in, or a 3. So they're from 1, 2, 4. Let's at least note that. This can't be a 2 because it's touching a 2. Now, oh, goodness, I'm not finding this easy to see my way through at all. This can't be 1 or 5. And I mean, I do continually have Sudoku rules trying to pop into my head and mess up my brain. 5's in one of those cells. That's probably not worth noting. This is a 2, 3, 4 triple. Now, I really do need to focus on the areas where... Oh, here. Is this something? That can't... If that's a 1... No, it's not something. Sorry, I was thinking if that's a 1, this can't be a 3. But if that's a 4, it doesn't say anything about that. I can't think it's worth colouring those 2s and 4s yet, although I could potentially do that. But this digit doesn't see anything by Seguru. It might do by the plus rule, but I don't know about that yet. So, the sequences I have to care about are 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. So they're all either one-step arithmetical sequences or 1, 3, 5. It's intriguing. I really don't know how I'm meant to tackle getting out of these boxes. This is 2, 4, or 5. So 5, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2. Okay, that being 1, 2, 3 is not allowed. Okay, this being a 4, what does that do for 4s? It puts a 4 there and a 4 there, so you don't have two 2s meeting. Then, anything else? Not, oh yes. No, I keep thinking 3, 2, 4 there is forbidden, but it's not. That is allowed. I haven't, oh, 3, 4, 5, there. That's just staring me in the face. Couldn't see it. I was about to say I haven't noticed or seen any potential 3, 4, 5 sequences, and that's because there was one and I just wasn't spotting it. Right, well that's moved us on a bit in the middle of the puzzle at least. Now, as you can see, I find it very hard to spot these sequences. Ah, there's another potential 3, 4, 5. So we can go 1 there, 3 there. Now that 1 goes here in the L region. And anything else? I mean, it is interesting, this, I have to say, but it really makes your mind, every puzzle that makes your mind work a different way is educative, I find. It's part of the joy of doing these puzzles on a daily basis, is somebody challenges you to think a completely new way and it really throws you. This is 1 or 2 because of all the digits it sees here, and this is 2 or 5. That's a 2, 4, 5 triple. So they all see this digit, which is 1 or 3. And the 1 is in one of these cells, right? If that was a 2, 3 couldn't go here or here on these 2 diagonals. Now, if that was a 5, that would have to be 5. That would make that a 5. Now that's interesting. If that was a 5, because that becomes a 5, that can't be a 4. So if that's a 5, this is a 2. And if it's a 2, that's a 4, and this is a 5. So this can never be 4. Is that right? Okay, let me just check that. So what I'm saying is, if this is a 5, we have to put a 5 here, and then we can't have 3, 4, 5. If it's a 2, that's a 4. So this is never 4. So I've uncovered a 2, 5 pair there, and this is a 4. And one of these 2 is where 4 goes in the I region. This one is 1, 2, or 3 because it sees a 5, 4 pair. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. This cell can't be a 5 because it's seeing a 2, 5 pair. So we're away. That's a 4, that's a 5, that's a 2, that's a 5. Now, I must be able to use the rule somewhere here. Apparently not. Well, I can't see how any of these cells are affected by the sequences rule. Yes, I can. 5, 4, 3. I'm obviously having the most trouble with 5, 4, 3 as a sequence. I shouldn't say that. It's such a hostage to fortune going forward. But anyway, I did. There we go. Now, these can't be 5, so that's a 5. Neither of those can be 2, so that's 2. That's 3 because it's touching a 2. That's 4. This one is 2 or 5. This one is 3 or 4. I'm just using Suguru at the moment. But look, there's a potential 2, 3, 4 diagonal, so that becomes a 5. 4 can't go there or there. That's a 4. This is a 2, 3 pair. This can't be 5 or 1. Okay, no, there must be something with the rule. And it's 3, 4, 5 I never find. No, not there. I don't know. These are going to be very unconnected areas with that. So I'm going to have to find 2 more breakthroughs in the puzzle. Let's get rid of the yellow cells. They're not really part of any breakthroughs. And I suspect that my ways into these remaining bits is going to have to be through the rule. Interestingly, this can't be a 3 because that would create 3, 4, 5. But it also can't be a 1 or a 5, which it touches. So that's 2 or 4. Oh, this can't be a 2. In fact, whatever is in this cell is in that cell. By geometry, by seeing where it goes in this Y shape. So that is a 3 being replicated. That's a 2, and that's really weird because I haven't sorted those out yet. But now I've got 1, 2, 4 to put here. Neither of those can be a 4. That's the 4. How do I sort out the 1, 2 pair first? From 2, 3, 4 there. Okay, good. Now, how do I sort out this 3, 4 pair? That is mysterious. The only places I can be looking are at that sequence, this one, this one, this one, this diagonal. Oh, that diagonal, there it is. Well done if you spotted that. That's not allowed to be 1, 2, 3. So there we go. There was a way of resolving it. Now, that is 3 or 4. And 5's down in one of those. Let's just fully pencil mark this first. 3's in one of those. Well, I don't know about 2 and 4. They could be in any of them. That can be a 5. So that's the fully pencil marked version. Is there a pair leading into this anywhere? Yes, 3, 4, X. And I'm saying, yeah, this was 2 or 5. It can't be 5. So that's a 2. So none of those are 2's. That seems to be a 3, 4 pair. We get 5 in the corner. And now that can't be 3, or this would be a 3, 4, 5 trio. So that 4 sees that cell. And now we've got one more trio left to find. That's not allowed to be 2, 3, 4. So there we go. I think that is the solution. It won't be input for checking yet. If I click that, it doesn't like it at all. So I won't click that. That is the solution though. And I'm now just going to spend a little bit of time checking that I haven't got any illegal sequences. And I'm looking for 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, and 3, 4, 5. I mean, it's not beyond me to miss one of those somewhere here, but I haven't seen any yet. 3, 4, 5 seems to be the one I'm worst at spotting, but I'm hoping. I think all the steps have been logical, so I'm fairly confident we haven't got any. But I mean, there are a lot of horizontal, vertical, and diagonal lines in such a puzzle. Now that's interesting. We're getting a cycling sequence of 4, 3, 5 in every column. 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 5. Oh, but then 2 2's. Okay, that ran out. I'm not seeing the illegal sequences anywhere yet. So I think we've got it, but that's a very odd puzzle. It makes you think quite hard. And the diagonals, come on then, 4, 1. I'm gonna bother to look at them. Sorry, I can't draw them very cleanly. 1, 3, 4's all right. Yeah, in fact, most of the diagonals don't even contain enough numbers that you would need to make a sequence. That one does, but they're not in order. That one does, but they're not in order. Oh, that one definitely does. No, okay, this is... Oh no, I looked at the diagonals one way. Got this way to look at. I'm going to complete it. Okay, we're looking good. 2, 4, 3, 5, 3. That's all right. I mean, it's a fascinating idea for a puzzle. I don't know where Ard comes up with his ideas from, but I'm happy that I did a bit better at this than at the golf. There we go. That is Tectonic Plus, and that is the solution. And when you solve the puzzle, not only will the rule reflect what the rule should fully reflect, but it will also give you a tick for the correct solution. Thank you for watching on the channel as always, and I very much hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.